This is the story of a small-town cop who became a national celebrity whilst being investigated for the murder of one of his wives and the disappearance of another. In the small US town of Bolingbrook, just outside Chicago, young mother Stacy Peterson is missing. Suspicion lands on her husband, serving police sergeant Drew Peterson, whose previous wife Kathleen Savio apparently died in a mysterious accident in a bathtub. But now phone records show Stacy had been contacting another man at the time of her disappearance, Scott Rosetto.
It was clear in our minds that she was seeking a much stronger relationship with Scott. Perhaps that weighed into her decision to want to leave Drew Peterson.
Police decide to bring Scott in for questioning.
So basically, we were able to alibi him during the time that Stacy went missing. And so we were able to move him from the suspect category to obviously a witness category.
With Scott's alibi verified, the police turn their focus back to Peterson.
The case really took shape when Drew's stepbrother, Tom Morphy, came into the picture.
4 days after Stacy goes missing, he comes forward to give detectives extraordinary information about the night she disappeared.
Tom Morphy told us that that evening, Drew dropped him off at a park in Bolingbrook and gave him Drew's phone. And Drew instructed Morphy that when the phone rang to answer it, it was going to be him on the other line. Morphy didn't answer the first 2 phone calls because he was afraid to, but he eventually answered the 3rd phone call, and of course that's the groundwork for Drew's explanation as to Stacy's leaving him. After those phone calls were made, Drew and Morphy went back to the residence where Drew and Stacy lived.
Then he said, we need to go back to my house. And he goes, I need a hand.
Morphy was a bit confused because he was under the influence of drink. He had a drink problem. And he went up to the bedroom with Peterson, and Peterson said, I need you to help me move this barrel. So it was warm to the touch, and it was heavy. And then they brought the barrel together down and put it in the car.
Did it have any, like, handles?
No.
Describe it to me, man.
We had to grab it from the bottom. It was just perfectly round.
Okay. Describe the top.
It seemed like it might have spun on. Did he ever make mention to what was inside the barrel? No.
So I put 2 and 2 together.
Drew transported Morphy back home, and the barrel was disposed of at that point in time. Morphy believed that he actually helped Drew move his sister-in-law's body from that residence.
Morphy was so consumed with guilt, he took an overdose and ended up in hospital before turning himself into the police. And his interview is compelling.
Where is she? I don't think you. I'm not. I do not know. Where's that container?
I don't know. The last I saw it, it was in the back of that truck. The last time I saw it,
You helped dispose of her.
in that
You know
bucket,
that.
and that's it.
You helped dispose of her.
You know what? Maybe you killed her.
No.
Maybe you're the one who killed her, and that's why you're not cooperating. Maybe you were there.
I'm cooperating completely.
I think maybe you were there.
No, I wasn't.
I think maybe you were. Where is she?
I don't know. If I knew, I would tell you.
One of the last phone calls Drew made that night was made near the area of the canal at 135th Street, and we began an extensive search of that waterway.
While police search the canal for the mystery barrel, the state's attorney's office has been poring over the autopsy carried out on the body of Peterson's 3rd wife, Kathleen, 3 years before. And they are not convinced it was an accident.
There were things that jumped out at us that we thought were odd. This bathtub that Kathleen was found in was not a real big bathtub. So she really didn't fit in there without being kind of like packed in there, I would call it, pushed in there.